What you know about lighters, what you know about flames, what you know about ignition, about combustion. I'm talking thermogenesis. No. Today we're talking about what you know about igni. Today we're talking about lighting your tobacco pipes. What to use, why, when, and in a sense, how. Many options out there and a lot of different schools of thought, but we'll take a deep dive right here. Intro. Well met, friends, my name is Adam, and this is Get Piped, where we, well, love to pipe. And today's piping is all about the fire, baby. That was literally so cringe. I can't say baby in any fashion of the word other than talking about a literal baby, maybe a cat. Ugh, what am I doing here? Okay, but lighting your pipe, right? I'm talking BIC lighters, designated pipe lighters, matches, Zippos. All the things. Now this topic will be quite polarizing, but I'm not here on the tube to say that everything I say is law. I'm on the tube to talk and share opinions about all things pipes and tobacco with 2,640 of my closest friends. And that right there is the real magic of pipe smoking. Pipe how you please. Alright then, friends and acquaintances. If you want to get promoted to the title of friend, all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button. Oh, and I'll also add that the Get Pipe podcast is officially up and running with new episodes airing every single Thursday, 04 Eastern Time. And this month we're hosting an awesome Pipe Smokers March Madness tournament bracket style thing. It's called Legends of the Pipe, where we will pin pipe smoking legends from history and fantasy to battle it out for the title of Ultimate Legend of the Pipe. Listen to episode 006, this past week's episode, to get all the details on how you can win a ton of Get Piped merchandise. I'm talking pipe accessories and a brand new tobacco pipe of my choosing. Should be super cool, so go ahead, check out the links below. But enough of that talk, let's talk lighters. There are a number of quality options for lighting your tobacco pipes, and out of all the fires, we're looking for a soft flame. What does that mean? I don't know. It's just kind of the buzzword I've been programmed to repeat, like a damn hypnopedia from Brave New World. Nah, soft flame is the typical flame that's produced from a standard lighter, or matches, I guess. Now, there are three categories from which you can achieve this: matches, fluid lighters, and butane lighters. We'll take a look at each one closely, but right off the top, no torches. This might be one of like the 7 rules of pipe smoking that actually make sense. Torch lighters, or I guess a hard flame, are in fact too harsh for the pipe and the tobacco. Now, there's a video circulating around right now where a guy says that it's okay to use his torch on his pipes. Like, he doesn't give a fat F about that rule, and he always lights his pipe with one. By torch, I'm referring to the typical cigar lighter, the damn jet engine thing, the Ghost of Kiev thruster lighters, those things. But again, using something like that on a tobacco pipe is pretty taboo, and the guy got a lot of hate for it. His argument is that it's okay and it works, and he's been smoking pipes for a while doing this, and none of them have melted out of his hand, especially if it's just like a super quick light of the tobacco. Personally, I love his approach. He's daring to be different, trying to dispel the pipe smoking hypnopedia. This video screams pipe as you please, which is Get Pipe's overarching philosophy. But I can't get behind this one. Well, sure, your briar is probably going to be fine if you're lighting super quick, and you don't necessarily care too much about that particular pipe, meaning it's not a Dunhill, a Seriacobo, or something like a Castello, a nice pipe. But the main problem overlooked is the heat. In researching, I went down a deep rabbit hole of lighter temperatures, and I was gonna throw some numbers out at you, but we'll skip that part. Basically, blue fire is hot fire, like the hottest fire you can get, and the yellow is the least hot. Well, a torch lighter produces 100% blue flame. So put 1 and 2 together. The blue flame is hot enough to melt metals. So do we really want to put that on our tobacco? No. If you burn your toast, it sucks. If You burn your pizza, it sucks. You burn your tobacco, that temperature, no matter how brief, will in fact burn a lot of the nuanced flavor out of the tobacco. And that's chiefly the point of smoking a pipe, right? Taste. Why handicap that experience from the get-go? And yeah, your pipe will get absolutely f***ed. Take a look at this. Okay, with that said, let's look at our most viable options for pipe lighting. We start with the wooden match, which is the staple pipe lighter. Humans have been smoking pipes for hundreds of years, but the practice certainly boomed in the 1800s, conveniently after the wooden match was invented, which was sometime in the early 19th century. Matches are great for sticking to tradition. They're also great for, you know. The first fluid lighter we have is the BIC Light. Nah, I kid. While the match is the most aesthetically pleasing way to light your pipe, it has its drawbacks, but it does feel just so right. Matches are an awesome option when smoking indoors, which makes sense, since that's where people would typically smoke their pipes, indoors. But truth be told, they're just not super practical anymore. Just like how the tinderbox from medieval days fell out of fashion when the friction match was invented, friction matches have kind of fallen off since the boom of lighters. That said, they do yield a super clean smoke, so if the conditions are right, the matches go hard. Just be sure to let a little bit of the literal sulfur burn off before you start lighting your tobacco. You know, just 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, moving forward, we have our fluid lighters, a super convenient source of flame. They're typically quite reliable in the wind as well. Generally speaking, fluid lighters are also cheap, which is great. However, the major criticism towards fluid lighters is the claim of a tainted taste towards the tobacco. Many claim that the lighter fluid from such lighters are horrible for pipe smoking, due to the fact that they impart a slight fluidy taste to the tobacco. I know men and women who swear by this claim and curse the idea of using such lighters on their pipes. This is where I'll leave my thoughts. No, I can't taste it. I don't know. I acknowledge the argument, I do, but I just can't put my heart behind this statement. Mayhaps it's just my youngly developed palate, but I can't say I've ever smoked a pipe and said, ugh, this tastes like lighter water. Hasn't happened. And I won't say it's untrue, but in my experience, which is, 1 to 2 pipes a day on average every day for the past several years, I don't know, maybe I just don't have the palate fine-tuned enough to taste the fluid, but hasn't been a problem for me. But talking about options, we got BICs and we got Zippos. These are both classic lighters. These things are the definition of cheap. Plus, you can still find them literally anywhere. People carry these around even if they aren't smokers. Both are just so prevalent. BICs are the ultimate disposable lighter. For just a few bucks, you can get a pack of 3 or 4 and use them for weeks or even months, until the fluid runs out, then you just toss it. Now, they're kind of buns when used in the wind. When I'm out in the field at work, I have to literally undo my top and pull it over my head and try to light the damn pipe in my jacket. It's just a mess. But again, they're so simple and they do work. And you can get one with cute cats on it like mine. I'm sorry, I'm a cat guy. Sue me. I will say that if you're a hardcore BIC guy, and there are many, be sure to yeet that little metal safety thing out. Getting rid of this metal piece changes the game. Before, I hated using BICs because my fragile thumb would hurt after trying to ignite the lighter way too many times. But with this thing gone, the lighter easily becomes one of the best pound-for-pound lighters in the game. You can't go wrong. Moving to Zippos, well, it gets a bit complicated. Mainly because they suck. Sorry, I gotta be blunt about it. Sue me, again. So Zippos are really interesting. The Zippo is an American icon. Invented in the 1940s by American inventor and pipe smoker George Blaisdell, the lighter has been a must of all smokers of all types. Soldiers in war, hikers and campers alike, and even the clicky, flicky, tricky guys on YouTube and the TikToks. I love the idea of the standard Zippo. They're beautiful and functional for most things. Just think pipes are not one of those things. Zippos are the ultimate cool guy 1950s cigarette lighter. I'm talking leather coat, tight, fresh denim jeans, big ass black boots, hair slicked back. That guy. But I'm afraid not for our pipes. They have this little lighter fluid soaked wick that stays pretty damn lit, even in windy conditions, but the Zippo's orientation makes it very difficult to accurately light your pipe due to the nature of having to put the lighter completely upside down. This is damn near impossible in windy conditions. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done, it definitely can, but when weighing it against a literal $1.30 BIC, I'm going with the BIC since it works in more situations than the Zippo. But next, we'll look at the Zippo. Now, I know many of you are mid-comment right now telling me how foolish and young of mind I am and stupid, but stay with me. Zippo does have a pipe lighter. This thing is made for the pipe smoker. It even denotes a little pipe on the face of it. This lighter fixes literally all of my criticisms of the original. Its chimney has a circular hole in the center in order to accurately and effectively light the tobacco. Simply place the cutout parallel to the chamber of the bowl and draw as normal. The flame is pulled downwards and your pipe is perfectly lit. This lighter is awesome. Now, they don't sell just the insert, so you couldn't purchase that alone, but there are some customizable options on their site. Considering these options so far, I love the Pipe Zippo. This is a solid, durable, go-to lighter. With this option, you're really only fighting the drawback of fluid. The fact that it's messy to refill, probably has to be refilled often, and then of course the controversial taste situation. But outside of those factors, I do love the Zippo pipe lighter. Alright, at last we get to the champion's corner. We're talking about butane. Now, we've already axed the torch thing, so what we have left is the category of butane pipe lighters and old boy formats. And bear with me, we'll touch on the standard butane pipe lighters first. These pipe lighters are another devoted pipe smoking lighter. They typically possess an angled chimney or a perpendicular chimney in order to accurately target the tobacco within your pipe. These things are very affordable and can be a great option. These typically run between $15 and $40. Now, how do they hold up? Yeah, in my experience, pretty horribly. I've gone through maybe 4 or 5 of these lighters, man. Now, I think they were all Vector brand, and every single one stopped working in some capacity within literally a single month. I just picked this guy up for this video, and I'll let you know how it holds up later in a community post or on my Instagram, but my hopes aren't super high. When you first get them, they work great, but with each consecutive day of use, they just falter. A week later, it might take 5 to 6 clicks in order to get it to light, and then the following week, maybe even more. By the end of the month, it just won't even light. There's also a huge problem with refilling it with butane. If you try and fill it and then try to use it, sometimes the flame that emits is just so massive. So much so that the little igniter inside just breaks, so it can't ever be used again. Yeah, I'm not hooked on phonics with these guys. But please, maybe someone has a different experience. Maybe a little more positive. If so, please leave a comment below. My biggest fear is that someone will take my Murphy's Law experience and take it as the absolute truth for this. I don't know. This is just my experience with literally almost half a dozen of them. Alright, at length we meet the top dog. Another butane lighter, but certainly the best. The I Am Corona Old Boy lighter. This is the gentleman and ladies pipe lighter. Another lighter dedicated to the discerning pipe smoker. The shape is iconic. It's small, heavy, durable, and awesome. It takes a little piece of flint and some butane. That's it. Just lift the chimney cap, flick the flint wheel, and your eyes will be blessed with the powerful and magical sound of spark and flame. Your eyes will be graced with the enchanting birth of blaze emitting from such a small, extraordinary system. Too much? Yeah. Now, this thing is by far my favorite lighter. My wife gave me my first Old Boy a few Christmases ago, and I use it daily. Initially, I tried to reserve it for the more formal occasions, but I couldn't. It's just so simple. It's the absolute best in the wind. The flame is so soft. I just love everything about it, and I can't wait to expand my collection of them. That said, I haven't yet because of one singular drawback: the cost. Now, these guys are not cheap. They're certainly worth getting at least one. I'm unsure about any after that. At a price point of over $100, yeah, it's a lot to spend on a lighter, especially when you weigh the practicality of all the other options. But at that price point, I do swear by at least one. I think every pipe smoker should own one in their lifetime. They are a lighter for the lifetime. There are other brands as well that use this construction. Peterson Pipes makes a peat version. Caribe is another company. They have a couple awesome options. And I'm sure there are more, but the Old Boy by Corona is just remarkable. Now that, I'd say, covers the bases. Another great option for lighters is to go antiquing. This is something that my wife and I love doing. You can find some incredible lighters out there. I always love imagining the wonders of their potential histories, their stories. How many pipes were lit? How many of those were celebrations? Maybe the birth of a child, a business contract, construction of a home. I don't know, just something super cool to think about. Thank you so much for your view and you're using your precious time to hear me babble. That's what my dad would say. He's like, yeah, you babble. He also says I mumble, which I don't like. Oh, I hate that. And here I am now making YouTube videos where I talk a lot. Ironic. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed your time. You can also check out my pipe smoking podcast, the Get Piped Podcast, on all major hosting sites. New episodes air every single Thursday at 04 Eastern Time. You can also connect further on Instagram, which is at get_piped, or even better, maybe you can join the Get Piped Community Discord, an awesome app that brings our international pipe smoking club to life. Think the Facebook pipe groups, but like a trillion times better. That's Discord. Lastly, many have asked, and yes, the Etsy store is back up and live with all the pipe smoking merch and essentials you could want. All links will be in the description below. Okay, enough of me. Thank you, fine ladies and gentlemen, once more. You have just been piped, and until the next piping, I'm out.
Yeah.